Good morning, everybody. Michelle is here. I guess this thing just decided to turn itself on. But anyway, today is Tuesday, April the 4th, 2023. And I want to talk about something that's pretty, I think we need to resolve this and nip this in the bud. And this is our reaction and our handling of these so-called Karens in the world. You know, we all know if someone's called a Karen, that's not necessarily you know, anything to be running around being proud of, possibly, or it could be. Some people probably do get off on hearing themselves being called Karens, but we just need to kind of nip that in the bud about how we deal with those type of human beings and be done with it, because we don't want to leave a stain on someone or leave a stain on a name that we call someone that will, uh, there you have to keep in mind there's cause and effect, and so you don't want to put a derogatory stain on a myth, because these Karens are myths. They really, in my opinion, don't even exist. Most of these people that are Karens per se are just reacting. They're just reacting. And I'm gonna stretch out and say that most of these people that we call Karens probably just need someone to talk to. Has anyone ever considered that? And maybe they just don't know how to talk to people. And chances are these so-called Karens are considered invisible in society. Nobody really pays them any attention. No one really listens to them. And, and so in order to be seen and heard and felt, people go extreme. We all know that. Logically, we know that. People will go extreme when they feel when they are not developed properly, because it is a development possibility. The way they were developed, the way they're thinking, and how they're thinking and how they're developed and their environment and so forth. That brings out the personality, or the creation of a personality. And then, like I said, with these personalities, we have an ego. And it's all energy. Everything's all energy. You have to keep that in mind. But you have to be able to, the energy is the big picture. But you need to look at the details of what's in the big picture and not stay all in it. And that's why I say I'm not a detail-oriented person. I don't like staying in details all the time. Okay? So our personality, all these things are our ego. Those are details of a human being. But overall, we're all human, and we ought to be acting humanely all the time towards each other. But we don't. We know that. We don't do that. So like I said, when I say that you counter and move on, a lot of people are countering, sure. But if you have enough time to sit back and, you just have to be creative. And do you need to take pictures of everything all the time and expose people like that? I don't think that's necessary. I don't think you need to take enough time to stand by, as long as if you're not in any kind of danger, you haven't witnessed anything that is considered life-threatening or compose a threat to society, your community, okay, fine. But if this human being is just going off and going off and going off, you need to be more creative in your countering and find out if this person just needs someone to talk to. And that's how they vent. And so in your creativeness, you attempt to calm yourself down. Get yourself grounded and attempt to de-escalate this conversation with this woman. Okay? It's not necessary to be taking pictures of people and exposing them like as we do, because we wouldn't like that, would you? And somebody in there in trying moments. This woman is probably in a trying moment where she's invisible. She's considered she can she really doesn't have any close interpersonal relationships with anybody. Maybe a family member. Maybe she's taking care of a family member. Maybe she's taking care of a man. So, and you heard what I said. She's taking care of them. But who's taking care of her? So there's always a cause and effect. There's no such thing as a coincidence. And so if you happen to come across somebody like a Karen, then you need to find out why you are in that space with this particular person, because it may be something about you too. It's not just her. It's always usually a two-way street when you're dealing with somebody face to face. And face to face is what we need more of anyway. So we can pick up the right type of energy and know how to handle ourselves in a neutral fashion, right? And raise ourselves, because we, until we understand that and not know that you're not going to just be, no one just comes in your face for no reason. A stranger? Remember I told you how I used to ignore all this stuff? Nobody is just going to be coming up in your face and going off on you for no reason. And so you need to be creative enough and say, like I said, calm yourself down and figure out, okay, as long as you're not in no fear of your safety and this and that and the other, you say to this person, because they usually are in their feelings, probably, possibly. They're in their feelings. So you say to them, let me know how I can understand what you are feeling right now, or something to that effect. So we're gonna have to start de-escalating this type of exchange with people, because that's where we're losing everybody, because we don't know how to exchange with people. Now, Black culture, we're different. White culture is different. Latino, yes, we're all different. But we can all learn how to, and I'll talk about the Black culture, at some point, once I get stuff going, because that's my niche. That's what I understand and know most. Like I said, it would be disrespectful for me to say I understand European culture. No, I don't. I don't understand it at all. Okay, and like I said, I think the majority of Europeans don't even understand themselves as well. Okay, that's why So this is work for all of us. But my point with the Karens are, as long as you're not in no fear, and usually these are women, and they're not necessarily threatening. They're more annoying, and they're and they're loud, and chances are these people, these women usually. The men, you need to handle those differently, because like I said, with the physicalness and the potential violence with that. So think about it. You know what to do. Some of you out there, the 144210s, you know what to do. I don't need to tell you anything like this, but sometimes people have to be reminded, like I said, at least 7 times before stuff starts going in. Like with books I read, sometimes I have to keep reading that book over and come back and that's learning, forever learning. So when you come across these, like I said, normally they are women. Of course, they're white women. They're non-Black usually. Okay, let's put it that way. They're non-Black. Some can be Asian. Some can be Hispanic. Like I said, calm yourself down. If you feel safe in wanting to exchange with this person, exchange some conversation, and say, okay, so. And you need to be calm. Let them yell. When people are paying attention, they don't want to hear your voice yelling over hers. Because you know what happens when Black women, more specifically, what happens to us in public when people think we're arguing with each other, and in our culture, that's just our culture. A lot of people just don't understand that. So, when you have non-Black people looking in, oh, God, look how she's talking to that woman. They'll call 911 and say, oh, my God, that Black woman is threatening this. Come on now. We know better. We ought to. So my point is de-escalate that. Find out from these women, let me know if there's something I can do to understand what you are feeling, what you are saying, or something like that. And you might have to keep saying that a couple of times just to calm them down, because you don't want to be seen on her cell phone going off on her, because you know what happens with black people when we are doing that, especially black women. What's the perception? Ooh, that black woman threatened that. You know, we know. So let's work on that, and work on that with, in every, like I said, if you are coming across someone that's aggressive and arguing and carrying on, okay, that's a lesson right there. That's a learning opportunity, I should say, to find out why is this person in your face. Because there's no such thing as coincidences, no such thing as something happening by chance. So that means, I got a moment here. I need to see if I can capitalize on developing myself a little bit better and exchanging conversations with people, human beings, All right. So because it's energy. So that means your energy is attracting all of that too. There's that kind of thing going too, where the positive and negative, sometimes when they get so extreme, they can be just out of control, and all of a sudden you got a whole lot of negativity that everybody gets so bothered by. Well, neutralize it, and then you'll lessen the intensity of all this negative. That if you claim negative, a lot of negative is coming towards you. Well, you're bringing it to you. You're bringing it to yourself, mostly from your thoughts. So take it as an opportunity to neutralize it, so that there's less of it and less intensity of it. All right, so that's what I wanted to talk about right now before I get the day going. And I'm going to be talking about the weapons situation. Everybody's concerned about weapons. I'm going to talk about that. And then more things. But I just want to start with that. No one's just going to be in your face for no reason. All right? Nobody is just, so that's an opportunity. If you get a human interaction with someone, that's an opportunity to neutralize it. If it's coming at you negative, well, find out how to neutralize it. I'm not saying make it positive, because that's superficial in my opinion. Neutralize it. No one's telling you that you and this woman, if you happen to come across a Karen, that y'all need to be going out to dinner and shit. Okay, going to a fucking movie. And excuse my language, I know I got my aunties on here, but they probably say, well, who the hell? What? No. But anyway, yeah, so just be creative when you're countering to neutralize. And keep in mind that these people don't just come up in your face for no reason. And if they got a cell phone on you, so what? We have our cell phones in our hands all the time anyway, right? So let's start with that. And then, like I said, I'll come back a little later in the day with some other stuff, to help people get along, develop properly, and evolve our consciousness. Okay, and it starts with our thoughts. All right, peace and love. Morning.